Load ko na yung reference, then might as well yung last two lectures. Kung mapapansin nyo, kung mabubuksan nyo dyan at your end, maiikli lang compared to lectures 1 to 6. Kasi nga halos minimal lang naman yung concept. I mean, easy to understand naman siya. And at the same time, almost similar yung atake ng pagsosolve natin sa LLE at saka sa Litching. Yan. Nag-upload lang ako din ng references, particularly for Litching at LLE, para makita nyo yung sinasabi ko kanina na even LLE at saka Litching ay merong graphical solutions din na included. May mga phase diagrams na ginagamit, tawag dito, may other methods na ginagamit din or may specific na tawag dun sa method na yon na ginagamit to calculate some of the necessary values. Okay? But not all of them naman will be used. Mapapansin nyo at makikita nyo naman dyan na may mga formulas dun sa PowerPoint na similar with the formulas from the reference. Yan. Pero doon sa mga points or parts na kinakailangan pang mag-plot para lang makuha yung values, parang hindi naman ako nagsama ng ganun sa exam. Wait, let me check din pala. Parang it's more of na-calculate nyo na yung value, tapos ipa-plot nyo lang siya. Check ko lang din, ha? Baka naman nga nailagay ko ay dipon. Answer key naman na ako, kaya double check ko rin siya. Ano naman na, calculated yun na siya bago pa siya i-plot. Ang dali lang naman i-plot yun. Kasi normally, x is 0 naman for 1 point in the other. Sa LLE lang naman. If ever. Doon lang ako may nailagay ata na ipa-plot siya. So siguro I'll try to find reference videos na rin kung paano siya ginagawa. Pero same lang naman siya with distillation. Since 45 degree line lang din siya, hanapin lang din yung x at y values if ever. Tapos point lang din. Okay. But anyways, sige. Let's have LLE. Yan. So for liquid-liquid extraction, we have two major learning objectives lang naman. First is explain the process of liquid-liquid extraction and the different factors na possibling maka-affect dun sa extraction natin or dun sa separation ng liquid solute natin from its liquid solvent or carrier. Okay? Then to solve problems on co-current and counter-current flow liquid-liquid extraction, number of theoretical stages, efficiency, and rate-based problems. Okay. So, sa ibang references, hindi nyo siya makikita as liquid-liquid extraction. Parang ano lang siya, pinaka-header si LLE. But majority of its discussion, ang ginagamit na term is simply extraction or solvent extraction o kaya naman liquid extraction. Okay? But nonetheless, pare-pareho lang naman sila ng gustong i-imply. Kundi yung separation ng components of a liquid mixture by treating it with another solvent or another liquid solvent in which yung pipiliin natin na solvent na yun ay particular lang or selective lang siya dun sa solute natin. Okay? Dun sa miscible solute natin sa kanya. At hindi dapat siya magre-react with the carrier liquid dun sa ating mixture. Okay? So a process where two immiscible or partly miscible liquids are brought into contact with each other so that soluble substances in one liquid possess into the other by diffusion. By the way, LLE and leaching is your final project. Ano, hahanap kayo or gagawa kayo ng procedure. Again, pinapaalala ko lang, laboratory scale lang naman yung setup. You may use available equipments sa ating lab, not necessarily bibili ng equipment or anything. Kumbaga improvise lang. May mga nakita naman ako sa YouTube actually for LLE. Sa leaching may mga nakita din akong references. So, it's up to you guys kung paano nyo siya gagawin. Ha? Ayan. But ito yung mga concepts na kailangan natin to justify yung magiging setup ninyo. Okay. With each other so that soluble substances in one liquid possess into the other by diffusion. Then the operation is based on the differences sa solubility. So kailangan soluble yung ating solute, okay, or yung target component natin dun sa mapipili natin na solvent. Kasi kung hindi siya sasama kahit anong contact natin. Then applicable to heat sensitive or high distillation costs. So napipili natin si LLE kapag sobrang heat sensitive ng ating material or kapag mag-i-incur siya ng masyadong malaking cost kapag distillation ng ating pinili. Ano? So kumbaga merong downgraded unit operation na pwede natin gamitin other than differences ng volatility. And that is by solubility naman. So sa LLE, ano yung mga key terms na nagagamit natin for us to properly illustrate yung ating problem whenever we try to solve problems? And ano ba yung mga terms na magagamit natin to identify specifically the specific yung values na binibigay sa atin sa problem. First is the feed. Okay, so for LLE, automatically ang feed natin ay dapat liquid mixture ito. Ano, it may be miscible or partially miscible sa isa't isa. Okay? When we say miscible, naghahalo sila but not to an extent na nagre-react sa isa't isa. Okay? So, the major liquid component in the feed can be referred to as your carrier solvent. Tapos yung kukuhanin naman natin from that carrier solvent is your solutes. Okay? Kaya wag malilito pag gumagamit si sir ng term na solutes or yung problem na solute kasi minsan ang naiisip ng students kapag nababasa yung term na solute, solid ito by form. There are cases na liquid pa rin po siya. Then the extraction solvent or the actual solvent na ginagamit natin, sila dapat naman ay immiscible or partially miscible kapag ka sila na i-add doon sa mixture. Okay? For the purpose of extracting one or more solutes from the feed. Kasi kung sila ay miscible din sa isa't isa, ang tendency ay humalo itong si solvent dun sa ating carrier solvent. So hindi rin niya nakuha yung ating solute. The phase leaving the liquid-liquid contactor rich in extraction solvent is called your extract. And raffinate naman is the liquid phase left after it is contacted by the extract phase. Meaning, kapag yung inyong feed ay nabawasan na, ang tawag na sa kanya ay raffinate. At kapag yung solvent naman ninyo ay nadagdagan ng solute, siya yung ating extract. Okay? So here are some of the commercially important extraction processes, okay, na ginagawa natin day by day. From the type of feed na meron and to what solvent is being utilized. So ano ba yung mga properties na kailangan nating i-check and i-verify whenever we try to find or select a solvent na proper doon sa ating type ng feed? Una, loading capacity. Gaano kadami ang kaya, okay, na i-hold or makuha ng solvent? Okay? Gaano kadaming solute yung pwede niyang makuha? from your feed. Okay? So if loading capacity is low, a high solvent to feed ratio may be needed, which is necessary talaga. Kasi mababa yung loading capacity niya. Kumbaga sa jeep at mga estudyante lalabas from BSU, kapag ang jeep na sasakyan or na biyahe ay sabihin nating 20 lang ang kakasya at nasa 5,000 ang lalabas from BSU, napakadaming jeep ng kailangan natin. Okay? Ganon yung thinking. Pero kung ang jeep naman ay kakasya yung 5,000, eh di walang problema. Okay? Mataas ang kanyang loading capacity. Yan. Then we have your partition ratio. So ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina na similar with distribution coefficient. However, si partition ratio po, okay, siya ay in terms of mass. Si distribution coefficient siya in terms of concentrations. Yan. So partition ratio is equivalent to y sub I over x sub I. Okay? So sabi dyan, partition ratios on the order of 10 or higher are desired for an economical process because they allow operation with minimal amount of solvent and production of higher solute concentrations in the extract. Meaning, mataas ang kanilang loading capacity. Kaya niyang kumuha ng solute na mas madami over the amount of your solvent. Pero kapag ka naman mababa kesa sa 1, it may be accommodated by using a high solvent to feed ratio but usually at much higher cost. Kasi kinakailangan mong bumili ng solvent mo. Damihan ng damihan yung solvent mo. Eh sir, di ba pwede naman mag-regenerate? Pwede naman mag-regenerate pero ang magiging problem naman doon ay time. Yung bilis ng operation. Kasi syempre sa regeneration naman, kinakailangan mo pang i-separate bago mo ulit ibalik. Diga? Yun. So still, it would incur a much higher cost. Then solute selectivity. Okay. So solute selectivity naman is described or defined by your separation factor. So important not only to recover a desired solute from the feed, but also to separate it from other solutes present in the feed and thereby achieve a degree of solute purification. So nakapili ka nga ng solvent, okay? Eh ang nakukuha naman niya eh hindi lang yung target mong solute, kundi lahat ng solute na meron doon sa feed mo. Wala din. Panibagong unit operation ulit yung gagamitin natin. So the selectivity of a given solute I compared to solute J is characterized by the separation factor. So yung separation factor natin is equivalent doon sa partition ratio ng component I over component J. Or parang component A over component B. So values must be greater than 1 to achieve an increase in solute purity. Ibig sabihin nun, ang target mo kasing solute ay si component I. So kung siya ay mas malaki, yung partition ratio niya over doon sa component J, okay? It means to say, mas mataas yung chance na mas mag-separate si component I with component J. Next, mutual solubility. So low liquid-liquid mutual solubility between feed and solvent phases is desirable dahil daw it reduces the separation requirements for removing solvents from the extract and raffinate streams. Kumbaga, mas madali ngayon yung separation after the actual extraction of solute. Okay? So low solubility of feed solvent in the extract phase reduces separation requirements for recovering solvent, for recycle, and producing a purified product solute. For stability naman, kagaya lang din sa gas absorption kanina, wala siyang tendency to react, okay, with any of the components or parameters stated doon sa or na meron doon sa setup. Then we have density differences. So a difference in density between solvent and feed phase on the order of 0.1 to 0.3 grams per ml is preferred para makita natin yung actual separation itself. Kasi kung ang density nila ay halos similar, nahihirapan tayong mag-identify ng layers. Normally kasi yan ay layers. Nagpo-form sila ng layers para madali yung actual extraction. So a value that is too low makes for poor or slow liquid-liquid phase separation and may require the use of a centrifuge para lang ma-separate sila clearly. And a value that is too high makes it difficult naman to build high dispersed droplet population density for good mass transfer. Ibig sabihin, nahihirapan naman mag-dissolve ng solute from your carrier liquid. Then viscosity. So dapat water-like siya, kagaya ng sa ating gas absorption. Nahihirapan kasi siyang mag-penetrate doon sa liquid solution mo kapag mataas ang viscosity or the other way around. Then interfacial tension. Okay. So systems with lower values easily emulsify while higher values result to low interfacial area and poor mass transfer performance. So sa interfacial tension kasi, ito yung possible reason or cause ng pagpo-form ng colloids or emulsions. Parang sa mayonnaise. Yung mayonnaise, ilagay mo sa tubig. Diba nangyayari? Parang nagbubuo-buo lang yung mayo. Yun, ganun yung nagiging itsura niya. So kailangan tama lang yung interfacial tensions nila para hindi masyadong makapag-form ng other particle, kumbaga, yung actual solution natin. Then recoverability. So solvent physical properties should facilitate low-cost options for solvent recovery since puro liquid naman siya. Then availability and cost. So principle of liquid-liquid extraction or how do we illustrate ang LLE? Ano ba yung mga formulas na ginagamit natin? So for LLE, sabi natin kanina, we have your feed na kapag lumabas, dahil siya ay nakuhanan na ng solute, magiging raffinate siya, and your extract, na kapag siya lumabas naman, nakakuha na siya ng solute, and that is known as your extract. Solvent, magiging extract. Then for your OMB, ID feed plus your solvent is equal to your extract plus your raffinate, where M here is equivalent to a mixture or combination ng two liquid phases natin. Normally si M, nandito siya sa gitna. Ayan. Or, there are also cases kasi, dahil nga sila lahat ay liquid, okay, may mga ganong case yung extract ko, hindi lang siya solute at saka solvent. Minsan, may sumasamang maliit na percentage ng carrier. Or the other way around. Yung raffinate ko naman, nagkakaroon pa siya ng extraction solvent din nakasama. Okay, may mga ganong instances. In reality, actually may ganon Hindi naman siya 100%. Kaya, as much as possible, yung nabigay sa atin na properties to be checked, para properly makapag-separate, dapat siya talaga ay accurate and precise. Para ma-minimize natin yung pagsama ng unwanted components. Okay, yan. Then you have your distribution coefficient na also minsan natatawag din siyang partition ratio. However, distribution coefficients kasi are ratio of concentrations ng compound natin. While for partition ratio naman, normally ito ay mass fractions. So magkaiba sila. So available siya sa equation 15-8 ng 9th edition natin for Paris. Okay. So, sir, ano po ang implications ng paggamit ng distribution coefficient? So, kapag ang distribution coefficient natin is greater than 1, meron tayong specific ratio ng extract at raffinate na gagamitin, which is this one. Kapag ka naman siya less than, that would be the inverse. So, raffinate over extract naman tayo. Okay? So, kunyari, 0.1 is equivalent to concentration ni raffinate, okay, over concentration ni extract. Pero lang yun. So, kung given na sa iyo si concentration ni raffinate at pinahahanap si concentration ng extract, madali mo na siyang makukuha. Okay? Ganun lang naman siya. Ginagamit natin siya actually as a conversion factor. Parang ganun. So again, normally, ito ay for distribution coefficient at ito naman ay for partition ratio. Then we have your extraction factor. So yung extraction factor natin ang nagbibigay sa atin ng idea. Okay? If kaya ba? Okay? Kaya bang mapaghiwalay or up to what extent ba yung paghihiwalay ng solute at ng carrier solvent natin? So characterizes the relative capacity of the extract phase to carry solute present in the feed phase. And its value is also used sa pagkakalculate natin ng theoretical stages or transfer units sa LLE. Kaya sabi ko sa inyo kanina, there are cases pa din na nakakapag-plot talaga tayo. Kasi LLE and even Liching has a graphical method to identify number of stages. So ito ang kanyang formula. Available din siya sa Paris Handbook natin sa chapter 15 or equation 15-11. Okay. So we have two ways. Okay? Either be it single stage or multi-stage. Ng flow, kumbaga, ng LLE. So it may be co-current or counter-current. Kapag ka sinabi natin co-current, normally ito ay termed also as a crosswise multi-stage contact. Ibig sabihin, yung amount ng feed ng solvent ko ay equal in every stage. Kunyari, ang ginamit ko na feed ay 100 kilograms of water. Yun ang sabi sa problem. Tapos sinabi sa kanya na co-current multi-stage. So sa bawat stage, gumagamit ako ng 100 kilogram of water. So para sa buong process, meron akong 300 kilograms of water na ginagamit. While for counter-current multi-stage, iisa lang po. Opposite directions lang sila at kapag sinabi sa problem na okay, 100 kilograms of solvent ang ginamit, 100 kilograms all throughout the stages. Okay, kung meron akong 3 stages, yung buong 3 stages na yan, yung 100 kilograms lang ang ginagamit ko. Siya lang yung unti-unting kumukuha dun sa solute from my feed. Ganon siya. Okay? Pero be mindful din. Be mindful din sa problem. Hindi naman porket sinabi ni Sir Dowie na each stage ng co-current ay pare-pareho. Pare-pareho nga. There are setups, may mga dito. May mga studies din kasi yan eh. Like, syempre, kung ako tatanungin mo, sa first stage, gumamit ako ng 100 kilograms. Nakakuha na ako ng, sabihin natin, meron ako ditong 99% na aking solute. Ang nakuha ng 100 kilograms ko ay nasa 30. O di ang papasok na lang dito ay 69%. Hindi naman na siguro necessary mag 100 kilograms ulit ako. Diga? Kung 30 ng 30 ang makukuha ko. Possible yung mga ganun nababawasan din yung pumapasok. Okay? So it yung pumapasok sa co-current may be equal at all stages. Pwede rin namang hindi. May mga ganong cases. May mga nabasa akong problems na ganun. Pero most of the time, ginagawa nga siyang equal. Okay. So numerically, you can calculate for your theoretical stages. Pero gumagamit din tayo ng McCabe-Thiele type of graphical calculation. Okay? Wherein, ang equilibrium at operating line natin ay straight lines lang. Hindi siya curve gaya ng distillation. Hindi siya ganyan. Okay? Normally, ang graphs natin for LLE ay other than your 45-degree line, mga nakaganto yan. Yan, ganyan siya. Tapos, ang pagpa-plot mo is ganyan, ganyan. Ganon din. Triangles, triangles din. Ganon siya. Kaya siya ay McCabe-Thiele type of graphical calculation. So, this is your Kremser-Sauder-Brown or KSB equation. This is available sa Perry's Handbook natin at equation 15-43. Okay? So, your Kremser-Sauder-Brown equation ay gumagamit ng extraction factor. Okay? Nang sabi dyan, if your extraction factor is greater than 1 or less than 1, yung Kremser-Sauder-Brown equation natin may be rearranged in this manner. But for extraction factors equivalent to 1, your KSB may be written in this manner naman. Wherein will be calculated. So shift solve lang siya. Dito, ito. Okay. So you have 3 equations, kumbaga. Then to solve for the amount of solute sa raffinate, okay, dun sa lalabas mo na feed na nabawasan na, we can use these equations naman. Where A sub N is the amount of solute sa raffinate, A sub F is the amount of solute sa feed, F prime is the amount of carrier, okay, or diluent natin sa feed, and N is the number of stages. So kumbaga, with the given number of stages na makakalculate mo, ano kaya yung possible or expected amount na matitira, okay, na solute sa iyong raffinate. So na-identify natin siya. Then we can also calculate stage efficiencies. Okay? So your stage efficiency is theoretical stage, which is yung mga nako-compute natin here, over the actual stages. But for some cases na hindi given yung actual stages, ang binibigay is stage efficiency at si actual stage ang pinako-compute. Okay? Yun yung pinahahanap. Then for the overall stage efficiency, normally this is related sa Murphy efficiency natin and the extraction factor. So ito yung ginagamit natin na formula. So kapag kami binigay na Murphy efficiency, automatically ito na yung gamitin natin, hindi na ito. Pero kung pinahahanap pa rin sa atin yung actual stages plus given yung Murphy efficiency, you are to use this equation para makuha mo yung overall. Okay? Then after calculating the overall, substitute mo siya here to get your actual stages. Ganun lang naman siya. Okay. So that's for plate. Now, for extraction, using pack tower, para lang din siyang gas absorption. So, gumagamit na tayo ng overall extraction coefficients. Dito lang, it's Kea at Kra. Sa gas absorption kasi natin, siya ay Kea at saka, tama ba? KYA at saka, KYA at saka KYE. KXA. Yan. Then, height of transfer units, ito naman yung gagamitin natin. Again, your S here is your solute-free solvent. Kasi again, your F prime is amount of carrier or solute-free na feed. Okay, so sige, para siguro mas maintindihan, let's try to solve some of the problems. Kaso dito kasi ay hindi ko na isama yung solution. Dapat gagawin ko siya nitong nagdaan. Hindi ko nga nagawa. Gawa nga na nagkasakit ako. So, present ko na lang sa inyo yung PDF. Wait lang. Present something else with LLP. Okay, so let's have wait lang, ayusin ko lang. Ayan. Okay. Bakit ganun? Sige na nga. Hihirapan ako. Hide ko lang to. Ayan. So sabi, there are 30 kilograms of solute in 100 liters of water. So that's your feed. In every 100 liters ng water, may 30 kilograms ng solute. The weight of the solute that will be extracted by 35 liters of ether, okay, meaning that is your solvent with a given density, if the distribution coefficient is equivalent to 4, is what? Ano yung weight ng solute na yun? Gano'n siya kadami? If a three-stage countercurrent extraction system is used, ano naman daw ang weight ng solute natin that will remain sa ating raffinate? So sabi, distribution coefficient. And like what I've said kanina, kapag distribution coefficient po, okay, ang ating ginamit, bakit di na siya mag-back? Ayun. Dito pala. Okay. Kapag distribution coefficient ang binigay sa atin, that is concentration ng ating raffinate over concentration of your extract. Okay. Since greater than 1 ang ating distribution coefficient, kaya siya raffinate over extract. Wait lang po. Okay. Kung siya naman ay naging partition ratio, ay di mass fraction ng solute natin over ng solute sa extract over mass fraction ng solute sa ating raffinate. Kung siya ay partition ratio, however, distribution coefficient kasi yung binigay. Okay? Ayaw mag-next. Ayaw mo mag-next ha. Ayan. So direct na yung ating naging solutions here. Okay. So, ang gawin natin, illustrate muna natin yung given values sa atin. Okay? So, we have here your extractor. You have here your 30 kilograms of solute for 100 liters of your water. Tapos, constant yung water natin. Okay? Hindi siya nagbabago. Pero mababawasan yung ating solute. So, your 35 liters of ether, mag-e-extract siya. And 35 liters pa rin siya paglabas with 30 minus x. Yun yung nakuha niya. Okay. So with the distribution coefficient na binigay sa atin, that's 4, equals your concentration of solute in raffinate, that's x over 100, all over the concentration ng solute natin sa extract, that's 30 minus x over 35. Then do shift solve. After doing so, makukuha nyo yung x value as 27.5862 kilograms. And that is already the amount of solute na meron ka sa raffinate mo. So therefore, ang maiiwan or makukuha pala rather ng 35 liters of ether from the solution, okay, ng feed natin is 30 minus 27.5862. And that is 2.4138 kilograms. Okay? So nakuha na natin yung first question. What is the weight of the solute that will be extracted by 35 liters? Okay? Pero may follow-up na paano daw kung 3-stage counter current. Okay? So ito yung illustration natin. So sa 3-stage, sa first stage, papasok si 30 kilograms na solute. Lalabas siya, mababawasan, kaya naging X na lang. Papasok sa second stage, magiging Y na lang kasi nababawasan nga siya. Tapos lalabas siya sa raffinate as final, okay, na composition na ng ating solution, which is Z already. Then sa 35 liters naman natin, pagpasok niya, dahil counter current nga siya, so ang first stage niya ay yung stage 3. Okay? Pagpasok niya si 35, ang kukuhanan niya is yung pumasok na feed na Y. So therefore, ang nakuha niya is Y minus Z. Pagpasok niya ng stage 2 niya, okay, at lumabas, siya naman ay X minus Z kasi yun yung pumasok dito at lumabas. Then final stage niya, okay, as a counter current na flow, 30, which is the total amount, minus gaano kadami ba yung naiwan. Okay? Hindi siya 30 minus X ha. 30 minus Z siya. Ay, sorry. Hindi pala to ano. Hindi pala X minus Y. X minus Z pala. Parang na-omit to. Kasi ang ginagawa nga pala natin is binabawasan nga pala natin. At the same time, nadadagdagan naman siya here. So, nawawala si Y. Hindi natin siya sinasama. Clear tayo doon? Clear po tayo doon? Yung nasa baba, nababawasan, kaya naging X, Y, Z. Yung sa taas naman, na flow, nadadagdagan siya. So, ang binabawas natin doon sa yung ibinabawas natin sa pumasok na feed, okay, is yung final na raffinate. So, ang pumasok sa stage 3 ay Y minus Z, pumasok sa stage 2 ay X minus Z, pumasok sa stage 1 ay 30 minus Z. Ganon siya. Kasi mangyayari lang naman dito if ever, kasi kunyari ito ay magiging A, di parang X minus Y plus A, parang ganon. Wherein yung Y Oo, y plus a mo ay yung z. Or y minus a mo ay z. Okay. Then for each stage, i-analyze natin siya. Paano yung analysis? Ganun pa din. Hindi naman nabago yung distribution coefficient. So yun pa rin yung gagamitin natin. 4 pa din is equivalent to concentration sa raffinate ng solute over concentration ng concentration sa extract ng ating solute. So for each stage, is section by section nyo lang siya. So sa stage 1, yan yung kailangan natin. So you have x over 100 all over 30 minus z over 35. 10 shift solve kung ma-shift solve nyo siya. Pero kung hindi, simplify lang natin siya. Gaya ng ginawa dito. So sinimplify siya, you have one equation, two unknowns. Tapos ganun ulit. Section ulit natin siya here. Then i-section ulit natin dito. Makakakuha ka ngayon ng 3 equations, 3 unknowns. So you can use your calculator as a shortcut sa pagkuha ng x, y, at z values natin. Or kung hindi ka naman familiar with your calculator sa ganong technique, you can do mano-mano. Okay? So you substitute, ano bang maganda? Ito ay, gawin mo ito is x in terms of z. Tapos ito ay y in terms of z. Tapos i-substitute mo yung x equivalent at y equivalent dito. So makakakuha ka ng z value. Tapos ganun. Substitute mo na lang yung makukuha mong z dito sa first equation tsaka sa last equation to get values of x and y. Ganun lang, ganun gagawin. Okay? Clear po tayo doon? Yan. So again ha, if hindi familiar sa calculator, there are also other ways naman. So balikan ang ating basic algebra. Kung paano natin siya isosolve. So we have 3 equations, 3 unknowns lang naman. Yan. Okay. So, nasolve na natin yung problem. Okay. Next problem. You have here daw, a liquid-liquid extraction vessel is used to separate a solute from water. Okay? So, yung water mo here is actually your carrier solvent. W lang yung ginamit na variable. Then the solute is transferred to an organic solvent O that is immiscible with water. Given the process diagram, calculate A, the organic solvent required to produce a water product containing 0.5% of solute and the fraction of the solute in the feed that is recovered in the organic solvent product. Ayan. Okay. Ay, ano nangyari? Marami na pindot ata ako. Okay. So, paano natin siya isosolve? Wait nga, ba't ganun? Nawala yung ano. Ayan. Paano natin siya isosolve? So, based from the given diagram sa atin. Okay. Masasabi natin na sa raffinate, meron akong 99.5% ng water. So, hindi po 86, hindi po. Kasi ito naman ay by percentage based from their composition. Pero yung amount ni 86 in kilograms, dapat yun din yung amount ni 99.5. Ibig sabihin, ang bumababa okay, is yung solute lang. Constant pa rin po yan. Ano, by mass. By percentage, hindi talaga siya magiging constant. Kasi yung other components ng solution ko bumababa or tumataas. Kaya nagbabago ang percentage. Okay. Now let's have a water balance. Okay? So sa water balance natin, you have your feed times 86% equal to your raffinate times 99.5%. Since given kasi yung dami ng feed natin, makukuha ngayon natin yung dami ng raffinate natin. Okay? Nung R. At yung calculated R natin dito is yung dami mismo ng lalabas na raffinate, hindi lang ng water. Okay? So therefore, itong 172.8643 kilograms is the total amount of the raffinate already. So pwede na natin kuhanin kung gaano kadami in kilograms yung solute natin. Okay? So your solute in R is equivalent to, naka-percentage kasi to, kaya 0.5 over 100 times 172.8643. So ang dami ng solute natin sa raffinate is just 0.8643. Okay? Yan. So nakuha na natin yung raffinate side natin. So the organic solvent required, ang pinahahanap sa atin, okay, at saka yung dami ng nakuha ng solvent natin. Okay, now, let's do an OMB. Okay. So sa OMB natin, since nakuha na natin si raffinate, and since solvent din natin ay, tawag ito, may binigay ba? Sorry, wait lang. Your solvent, liquid, parang walang binigay. Wait lang, parang kulang ang 200. Tama nga. Extract nga pala to. Sorry. Solvent yung hahanapin natin. So, S is unknown. Bakit kasi S? Dapat X na lang. Anyways, ang feed natin is 200. Solvent is unknown. Raffinate mo ay yung calculated raffinate and the extract is 225. So, using OMB, makukuha natin yung dami ng solvent, okay, na gagamitin natin. So, that's 197.8643 kilograms. Now, using solute recovery, okay, na concept, we can calculate how much, okay, or what is the percentage nung nakukuha natin. So, solute in extract is yung 225, which is the total amount of your extract, minus yung ginamit natin na solvent. And that's the amount of the solute dun sa extract natin. Okay? All over, solute in feed, which is 14% of 200. Okay? Dividing it and multiplying it by 100, ang solute recovery natin is roughly around 96.91%. Or we can do this equation. Solute in feed, solute in raffinate over solute in feed, tapos ima-minus natin siya sa 1. Kasi kung yun ang gagawin natin, your solute in raffinate is 0.8643 over solute in feed, which is 200 times 0.14, tapos i-minus nyo yan sa 1. Makukuha nyo ngayon yung dami ng solute na na-recover. Kasi yung percentage na ito, yung 0.8643 over 200 times 0.14, that's the percentage of the left, okay? Or yung naiwan, yung hindi na-recover, unrecovered solute. So ang unrecovered mo na solute from your feed is nasa 3%. 0.0309. I-add ko yung 0.9691. That's 0.999. That's 100% already, which is the total of my feed na solute. Okay. Ganun siya. So both of the questions were answered already. So the fraction of the solute in the feed that is recovered in the organic solvent product is 9691. Okay? Na-gets po? Nakuha? Okay, ganun lang naman siya kasimple. Then for these problems, yan, may mga problem dito na unanswered. So I assume na ito ay magiging exercise ninyo. Ano? So ipo-post ko na lang din to or isa-send ko sa GC para maalala nyo. Ayan. Same lang yan. Halos pareho lang din yung gagawin dyan. May mga nadagdag lang sa problem. Okay? Yan. Para makapag-proceed tayo with minimum solvent and number of stages. Ito medyo mahaba-haba itong solution na ito. Ayan. Okay. So sabi, nicotine is to be extracted from a nicotine water solution at 20 degrees Celsius using pure kerosene as the extraction solvent in a multi-stage counter-current extraction process. Water and kerosene daw are practically immiscible at 20 degrees Celsius. The feed is 500 kilograms per hour containing 1 weight percent nicotine. The exiting aqueous layer should contain 0.05 weight percent nicotine. The equilibrium data under these conditions can be expressed as kilogram nicotine per kilogram kerosene is equivalent to 0.93 kilogram nicotine kilogram water. Okay, so you can denote nicotine over kerosene as Y equals 0.93x para di kayo malito. Ano, pwede naman yun. As we are asked to calculate the minimum amount of solvent that can be used, calculate the number of theoretical stages required if 1,000 kilograms daw per hour of kerosene is used for extraction, and if the mercury efficiency is 0.6, calculate the number of actual stages required. So gaya na sabi ko kanina, sa mercury, di kukunin mo muna yung overall, as from overall, kunin mo naman yung actual stages. Since nakapag-compute naman tayo ng theoretical stages. Okay. So una, illustrate muna natin yung problem. So since we are asked to calculate for the number of stages, it's safe to assume na meron kang multiple stages talaga. Ano? And to illustrate multiple stages, ganito siya. Ako, ang ginagawa ko, hindi na ako nagtutu. Ang ginagawa ko dito, N na to agad. Sino-shortcut ko na. Pinabawasan ko na para 3 lang yung gagawin kong block flow. Pero pwede naman yung ganyang 4. Wala namang problema doon. Medyo tamad lang ako nung ako ay undergrad sa pagsasolve kasi kakaunti ang oras, lang i-drawing ko pa lahat niya. Ayan. Tapos meron akong pure kerosene na papasok as may solvent. Then ang aking feed ay nicotine water. Ayan. Tapos ito yung aking equilibrium natin. Okay. So hanapin muna natin yung solute free natin. So your solute free is yung papasok natin na liquid feed times 1 minus x sub A, where x sub A here is your 1% nicotine. Okay? So ang inyong water is roughly at 495 kilograms. And 5 kilograms lang ng feed mo ang nicotine. Okay? So XA on a dry basis, okay, para lang din siyang gas absorption. Okay, that's XA all over 1 minus XA. Then XB, ganun din ang gawin natin. So, sir, saan manggagaling si XB? Si XB po ay dito na sa dulo. Okay, sa raffinate side naman siya. Tapos, yun yung gagamitin natin, yung mga XA at XB na yan, to get YA asterisk at saka YB asterisk using the given equilibrium equation. Okay, dahil medyo madami, you can store it or pwede namang isulat nyo na lang din. Tapos type nyo na lang later on sa calculator. Pero to be safe, just in case needed yung buong value talaga, you can store. Medyo limited nga lang yung pag-i-store natin. Depende sa dami at ganda ng calcu. Okay. Then, do a solute balance. Okay. So, solute balance natin, solute-free balance pa rin yung gagawin natin. Pero hindi ito yung gagamitin natin na equation or hindi yan yung working equation na gagamitin natin. Ang gagamitin natin is this one. Kung saan, minimum na yung kinukuha natin. That is why it was necessary for us to get YA asterisk. Okay po? That is why it is necessary for us to get YA asterisk. Kasi minimum yung kinukuha. Same with maximum, ganun din. Okay. So L prime times yung stored values natin na A at B. Kunin lang din yung difference. Okay. Equals the minimum amount of solvent times yung store natin sa C na YA asterisk. Then your YB will always be 0. Kasi magi-start naman siya as pure solvent, di ba? So, wala pa technically na makukuha. Wala pang concentration of any amount. So, ang minimum amount is this one. Using shift solve. Okay. So, if you are to plot that sa diagram, ganito, sa illustration natin, ganito siya. So, this is your equilibrium curve. Normally, this is a 45-degree line. Tapos, yung operating mo is XA, YA. Okay, ito yung normal, XA, YA. Tapos, XB, YB. Yan yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina. Tapos, kukonektahin mo lang yan. Okay? Pero dahil nga, kinuha natin yung minimum, we need to get YA asterisk with the value of your XA. And yung YA asterisk mo, dito siya tumama. Yan. So, yan yung ating operating line kapag siya ay minimum amount. Di ba? Para siyang minimum reflux ratio. Kailangan patamain mo siya sa equilibrium curve. But for this instance, equilibrium line siya, yung 45-degree line. Ayan. Ganun siya. Okay? So, nasagot na natin si A. Next is si B naman. Calculate the number of theoretical stages required kapag ka daw 1,000 kilograms per hour of kerosene is used for extraction. So, we have your Kremser-Sauder-Brown equation, okay, na na-present sa atin kanina for the number of theoretical stages. Ang kailangan na lang natin is alamin yung slope, okay, which is your M prime, though, wait lang, your slope naman is given already, 0.93 based from the equilibrium data. Tapos, kuhanin yung extraction factor. So your extraction factor may be calculated using this formula. So, calculated naman na natin yung solute free. I mean, given. Tama, calculated nga pala. Calculated si solute free natin na solvent. And na-calculate na natin yung solute free natin na feed. Okay? So, substitute lang natin yung values natin. Okay. So, ang una natin gagawin is itong si extraction factor. So, sa extraction factor, what if the 1,000, di ba? Yung ginamit na kerosene. So, that's your S prime. Okay? Tapos, 0.93 is your slope. Tapos, 495 is your feed. So, calculated na natin siya kanina. So, your extraction factor is 1.8788. So, yun yung gagamitin natin dito. Okay? Tapos, lahat naman yan, na-calculate na natin. Okay? Yung mga variables necessary dyan. This one and this one. Tama ba? Kremser-Sauder. Check ko lang yung ano ha. Yeah. Ang YS kasi natin ay 0. Y value ng solvent. 0, di ba? Kasi wala naman tayong solute pa doon. Kaya itong factor na to, itong variable na to, magzi-0 yan. Kasi yan ay 0 over 0.93. Kaya po ito ay nag-0. Okay? Then, yun. Calculate mo lang siya. Tapos ito na. So you have approximately around 3.6 stages. Okay? Or parang mga around 4. Ganun. 4 stages na. Okay po. Naintindihan po ba? So yung alternate natin na shortcut, this is Colborn naman yung ginamit kasi may A na dito eh. So since ibibigay ko rin naman sa inyo ito, you can try to check it out. Same lang dapat yung lalabas dyan. Okay? Naintindihan po ba kung anong ginagawa natin? Okay. Then for C, yan. With the same diagram, same given, okay? Ang nadagdag lang is your Murphy efficiency. Okay. So from there, we are to calculate the number of actual stages. Okay. So ang una natin gagawin is from your Murphy, okay, kunin natin si overall stage efficiency. Okay? Using this formula. Okay? Meron naman na tayong na-compute kanina na extraction factor, which is also this one. Okay? So, substitute lang natin siya for us to get the overall stage efficiency. Okay. So, after doing so, makukuha natin na 0.6715 or 67.15% ang overall efficiency noong multi-stage, okay, extraction natin. And from there, substitute na natin siya here. Sir, ano po yung theoretical stages natin? So your theoretical stages na ginamit is this one. Yang 3.6 stages. Okay? So for the actual stages, you have 3.6476, okay, over the overall stage efficiency, and that's your actual stages. Sir, ba't nawala yung times 100? Kasi po ito ay nakadecimal na, hindi siya 67.5. Okay? Ayun yung mga sunod na question kasi sa akin. Okay? Naintindihan po? Ay, ba yan? Ang pangit. Tama na. Naintindihan? As simple as that. Nakuha po? Uy, okay pa kayo? Okay pa naman? Ayan. I hope so. Ano? Then for this last one, ito na may pack. Ano? Pack column naman siya. So, bibigay ko na lang sa inyo yung um, solution nito. Konti lang naman to. Kayang-kaya nyo na itong intindihin. Okay? Since kanina sa gas absorption naman, na-identify na natin yung delta YLM. Okay? Same lang siya with this one. Kasi pack column din naman. Pinagkaibahan lang is, ito ay liquid-liquid. Yung kanina ay liquid gas yun. Yun lang naman siya. Okay? Then for leaching, hindi na natin kakayanin eh. Kasi 442 na. Siguro bigay ko na lang din yung solutions para maaral ninyo. But all in all kasi, it gives you the same, what do you call this? Same principles. Ano? So let's just have a run through doon sa leaching concepts para lang makita nyo na almost similar sila sa isa't isa. Okay? So, I'll just present 32. Sa leaching. So, ito naman, same lang again. Ang pinagkaibahan lang is solid yung carrier. Okay? Sir, does it mean na yung solute namin ay solid din dyan? Hindi naman. Possible naman kasi na soluble siya talaga doon sa solvent mo. So, ang nakukuha mong solute initially ay siya ay dahil nga siya ay nasa solid carrier. Possible na siya ay solid. Pero there are cases kasi na siya ay trapped liquid lang din within the solid. May mga ganong instance. But most of the time, tiny particles siya na soluble sa solvent mo. Okay. So, same principle applies. Solubility po ang labanan sa leaching. Same with LLE. Compared to gas absorption na both volatility and solubility. Okay? Kasi may temperatures kayo dun eh. Na, tawag dito, mini-maintain. So, dapat siya ay minsan ay within or outside volatility values, ganyan. But ang kanyang governing talaga na principle or property is solubility. Then distillation, volatility naman. Yan. But for LLE and leaching, solubility lang talaga. Yun yung kanyang driving force, kumbaga. Then for examples ng leaching natin, day by day nagagawa na natin siya. Ang pinaka-common siguro sa mga mahilig magkape dito, lalo na pag barako yung kapeng ginagamit, ayun, leaching process siya. And sometimes you can do cold press, okay, na mga operations. That's also leaching. Yeah. Gaya na lang ng pag-extract ng oil from coconut. Okay? So another difference na pwede nyong ma-cite for LLE and leaching is yung raffinate at extract ng LLE, pagdating sa leaching, siya po ay overflow and underflow na. Yung underflow is the counterpart of your raffinate, while your overflow is the counterpart of your extracts. Okay? Yun siya. Yun lang naman, yung difference nila. Okay. Then ito, industrial applications. Factors that affect yung rate ng extraction. Ito. So you have temperature, diffusion, particle size, agitation, interfacial area, and solvent viscosity. So para doon sa ma-assign sa tawag ito, leaching procedures, maganda sana kung may maiisama tayo other than solubility ay yung sa agitation, ano, kahit yung magnetic bar lang na umiikot, particle size, may mga grinders naman tayo tsaka sieve sa school so you can do that as well. Principles of leaching, almost similar with LLE din. You have your solvent, overflow, feed, underflow. Okay. Sir, ano po yung B? Ano po yung B? Normally, your B here is the inert ones. Tama ba? Mass of dry, solute-free solid per mass of solution retained. Yeah, normally your B is the mass of dry ng solute-free solid. So this is your inert. Sa diagram. Pero minsan kasi hindi naman na nagagamit yung si B. Madalas ay inert, yun ang nilalagay. Tapos, inaalam lang kung siya ba ay constant solution or constant solvent yung nangyayari sa buong operation. Okay. Tapos, you have your OMBs and solute balances in terms of this one is yung mismong solute natin, tapos yung isa naman ay yung sa inert natin. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina. Yung constants natin. Kumbaga, ito yung counterpart ni distribution and partition ratios. Dito, we have two cases. You have constant solution retention and constant solvent retention. So kapag constant solution retention ka, ang distribution coefficient mo, kumbaga, ay amount ng solution over your solid. Okay? Tapos, kapag ka naman constant solvent ka, concentration ng solvent mo over your solid. Tapos meron din siyang definition ng concentration. Depende kung alin ang constant. Constant solution ba siya or constant solvent. Tapos Taylor-Tour lang din ang ginagamit for multi-stage. So siguro mag-answer tayo ng isang problem para makita nyo lang yung difference. We still have time naman para lang makita nung Ay, nasaan yung leaching ko? Wait lang po, open ko lang. Mabilis lang ito. Bakit? Gusto ko nilagay. Ari. Okay, so I'll present this one. Taylor-Tour lang din naman ito. Okay, so yeah, I present to you again a PDF of the solutions. Okay. So sabi dyan, in a single stage leaching of soybean oil from flaked soybeans with hexane, 100 kilograms of soybeans containing 20 weight percent of oil is leached with 100 kilograms fresh hexane solvent. So yung soybean ko, kinukuha ko sa kanya is yung oil. Okay, kaya sabi ko sa inyo kanina, it doesn't necessarily mean na yung solute ko talaga ay solid. Okay? Nangyayari lang siya normally kapag mga ore, kinukuha mo yung gold, mga ganyan. Pero pag ganitong soybeans at oil, leaching po siya. So the value of N for the slurry underflow is essentially constant at 1.5 kilograms ng insoluble solid over kilograms ng solution retained. Calculate the amounts of the overflow and the underflow slurry leaving the stage. So masasabi ko na ito ay constant solution. Sir, bakit po? Dahil nito. Nung sinabi na ang value daw ng N ko, bakit walang nasusulat? Naglalag ako. Ba yun? Wait lang. Nag-black screen naman. Ayan. Okay. Dahil ang sabi, ang value daw ng N ko ay constant at 1 kilogram na insoluble solid over solution retained. Okay? So, masasabi natin na ito ay constant solution overflow. Constant solution retention. Okay. So, putting it in a diagram, yung usual diagram na ginagawa natin, makikita nyo dyan na nilagay na yung inert, okay, doon sa feed ay constant na lalabas as inert doon sa ating underflow. Okay? So since ito ay constant solution, ang concentrations natin ay calculated as solute over solution. Okay. So sa LO or sa feed natin na 100 kilograms, 20 kilogram niya ay oil and 80 kilogram ay inert material or yung soybean mismo. Kasi sabi dyan, 20% okay, ay oil. And that is equivalent to your LO already. So sa LN naman or sa underflow natin, you have 80 kilograms of inert material na nanggaling dito sa ating feed. Okay? Constant yan. So gagamitin na ngayon natin yung constant solution retention na 1.5 ng inert material, meron akong 1 kilogram na solution. Okay? Ibig sabihin, yung solid ko po, hindi lang siya natanggalan ng solute, kundi meron din na solvent na sumama, kumapit sa kanya. Okay po? Kumbaga, kung meron akong marble, may Jolene ako, nilagay ko sa tubig. Nung tinanggal ko yung Jolene, hindi naman siya dry. Diga? Medyo basa yung Jolene. Kaya nagkaroon ng solution. Okay? Other than the solute, meron pang solvent na sumama sa inert material ko. So converting your 80 kilograms of inert material using the constant solution retention, okay, value na binigay, ang solution na kasama sa aking underflow ay of this amount. Ano ba yan? Bakit ganun? Okay. So yan yung ating nasa L sub N. Pero yan na ba yung ating underflow? Technically, hindi pa po. Kasi yan nga yung solution natin eh. Wala pa dyan yung ating 80 kilograms na inert. So, i-add mo pa yon. Okay? So, the total amount of your underflow is 53.33 kilograms of solution plus 80 kilograms of inert. Yan yung mismong natin, underflow. Okay, yan na yung waste natin. Unlike LLE na walang sumasamang solvent. Sa leaching, may sumasama kasi nga siya is solid. May kumakapit sa kanya. Okay. Now, if you are to do solution balance para makakuha, or OMB, para makuha natin yung V sub 1, makukuha naman kasi all given values naman ay nandyan na. Tapos may calculated tayo. So, ang meron ka ngayon sa V sub 1 mo ay 66.667 kilograms ng solution. Yan na ba yung overflow natin? Opo, yan na yung overflow. Kasi ang overflow natin ay solute plus solvent. At whenever we have your solute and your solvent, that is a solution already. Okay? Nagets po? Nakuha po? So same with other exercises. Ganun lang din siya ng ganun. Yan, gaya nito, you have 0.8 pound of solution per pound of gang. So ito ganun din. Constant solution din ito. Constant solution retention yung aso namin nagaan. Constant solution retention ito. So halos same lang din siya. Tama ba? Yeah. Tapos ito. Constant solution din ito, if not mistaken. Tapos yung theoretical number of stages, Taylor-Tour lang din. Halos same lang siya talaga ng kung paano natin siya kinompute kanina sa LLE. Ang mag-iiba lang dyan siguro is hindi na nga siya katulad nung sa LLE kanina na walang sumasama doon sa underflow na solvent. Dito kasi may paunti-unti pa rin sumasama. Okay? Ganun siya. That's the total, yun na yung end ng leaching. Okay? So siguro bigyan ko kayo ng idea. Excuse me po. Sa kung ano ang sagot dito. Wait, for neem oil, ang answer here is, nasa na yun? Ang nil for 73%. Yan. Dito, 73% ang answer. So, you can check on it para makuha nyo 73%. Then, dito naman sa seeds containing 20%, if not mistaken, parang ito yung nasa roughly around 4 theoretical stages or more than 4. Parang nasa 4 or 5 ata. Kung di ako nagkakamali sa solution ko before, parang nasa ganun 4 or 5. So, pakicheck na lang din ako. Or if may solution na kayo, you may send it to me, then counter-check natin if tama ba yung ginagawa. Free naman ako to check it. Ito-check ko naman siya. Ang kulit naman na rin. Okay? Questions po, clarifications. Ay, ano nga pala ako? May questions? Or baka medyo overwhelming pa para sa ilan. Information overload. Though I understand since 3-unit operations din yun, hindi naman siya basta-basta. Pero if you are to check on it, parang halos dalawa lang kasi similar lang talaga si LLE. At saka si leaching, may konting-konting difference lang kasi may mga kino-consider na sumasama dun sa raffinate equivalent natin na underflow. Yun. Nasa LLE, wala. Okay. So, sige, isa-send ko na lang din sa GC yung naging solutions para at least may reference kayo kapag kayo ay nagso-solve. Tapos para doon sa mga walang solutions, ay di paki-check na lang din ako. Hindi ko lang nailagay pa din dun sa PowerPoint kasi hinahanap ko siya ng weekend kaso nga nagkasakit tayo. So hindi ko na siya natuloy paghahanap. Ayan. So wala naman pong questions. Clear na, I mean may natutunan naman for today. Meron naman, may bago namang learning for the retakers and for the new ones, at least sana may natutunan. Ano po? So sige, tinapos ko na rin kasi nga kasama yung next week sa choices ng inyong final exam. So doon na lang ako magbe-base until Friday, bibigay kong deadline for all. Tapos majority wins tayo ha. Hindi yung kung ano yung pinili mo doon ay doon ka mag-e-exam. Majority wins tayo. So sabay-sabay kayong mag-e-exam on the date na majority of you guys voted for. So far ay July 22 ata yung leading. Ayan. So parang balak nyo kung pag-checkin habang nasa field trip ng FE. But anyways, last naman na yon since nabigay ko na sa inyo ang problem set / quiz, di ba? Okay na tayo sa laboratory. Final project na lang. Tama? Final project na lang ang isa to be submitted ninyo kumbaga sa akin. Nasa na yung aking checklist? May checklist ako niyan. Okay, so nakapag midterm na tayo. Okay. Final exam na lang at saka final project. Okay. Sir, kailan po ang deadline pala noong problem set? So, magde-deadline ako ng problem set next week. Ano po? Tatatlo namang problem yan. Compared naman dun sa una yung problem na 5, yan na may itatatlo. I guess kaya naman siyang sagutan within the week. Sagad na lang natin ang Tuesday next week. Okay po. Kaya ba? 15? Siguro naman ay kaya. 15. Sir, may klase pa tayo ng 14 at 15. Wala na po. Hindi ko na kayo i-meet ng 14 at 15. Pero kindly use your time po, yung 14, 15, for your final project. Para at least yung final project ninyo, dahil nga wala naman ata sa inyo ang mag-field trip ng first batch, parang iisa lang ata yung as of today na sumagot for first batch, at least magawa nyo for the whole week. Yung 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, para at least makapag-field trip kayo nang wala na kayong iisipin pang gawain. Diba ga? Yung sa second batches. Kasi exam naman, as of today, ay 22 ang inyong majority of votes. So at least pagbalik ninyo ang field trip, makakapagpahinga na. Ay di antay-antay na lang sa grade if magre-removal ba or hindi. Or if i-allow pa ba kami talagang magbigay ng removals. Or remedial. Okay? So clarify ko lang ulit, reiterate ko lang, na you have 3 lectures included sa finals. Gas absorption, LLE, and leaching. Para at least makabawi if medyo nahirapan ng finals. Pero ang dali lang naman ng concepts, di ba? So far naman, okay naman yung concepts. Counting points na lang yan. Alas 10 points na lang kailangan from the problem solving. So, or baka nga 5 na lang kasi yung number 54, ang dali lang nun. Yun. So, tingnan natin. Di pa lang ako nakapag-check kasi nga di pa ako nakakapasok ulit. Tapos, problem set due on 15. Tapos, tentative final exam 22. Sir, kailan po ang pasa ng final project? Di as much as possible ay between 21 and 22 din, maipasa nyo na. Para tapos na tayo, kumbaga. Wala na kayong isipin during field trip. Nag-enjoy na lang. Okay po? So if wala na pong questions nor clarifications, class dismiss tayo. Thank you so much for your time and your understanding sa naging condition ni sir. Kung bakit din tayo online today. Thank you.